In July 2025, history was made. For the first time ever, a company's market value crossed $4 trillion, more than the GDP of almost every country on Earth. But it wasn't Apple or Microsoft. It was Nvidia, the once obscure chip maker that now controls the beating heart of the AI revolution.
And you look back and you realize that there's this company almost at the epicenter of all of that.
From toilets to trillions. Nvidia's co-founder and CEO, Jensen Huang, has become a cult figure in Silicon Valley. He's the guy in the leather jacket you've probably seen showing off futuristic chips on stage, but his backstory is straight out of like a Hollywood biopic. Born in Taiwan in 1963, he was sent to the US at just 9 years old, and, plot twist, ended up at what his family thought was a good boarding school in Kentucky. Turns out, it was more of a reform school for troubled kids. Huang later said he spent his time cleaning bathrooms, working odd jobs, and even playing chess with a janitor. He's famous for saying,
"I've cleaned more toilets than all of you combined."
From dishwasher at Denny's to chip designer at AMD, Huang climbed his way up. And in 1993, at another Denny's, he and 2 engineers decided to launch their own company. Their first few products were total flops. Their early graphics chips were so bad that Sega literally rejected them. But one risky business move, testing chips through an expensive emulator when no one else was bothered, saved Nvidia from bankruptcy and gave them their first real win in 3D gaming, the AI jackpot. Fast forward. For decades, Nvidia was just a gaming company, making CPUs, graphic processing units, for hardcore PC players. But here is the damn twist. Those same GPUs originally built to make video games look pretty turned out to be perfect for artificial intelligence. Training AI requires doing massive amounts of math really fast, and Nvidia's chips were already built for that. By 2023, Nvidia hits its first $1 trillion valuation. 2 years later, it rocketed to $4 trillion, overtaking Apple and Microsoft. Their net income went from $4.4 billion in 2023 to nearly $74 billion in 2025. That's not growth. That is nitro-fueled financial insanity. I bet you're wondering, wow, how intense is their demand then? Well, Oracle co-founder Larry Ellison once described a dinner with Elon Musk where they literally begged Huang for more chips. Please take our money. Please take our money. That's the kind of position Nvidia is in. They're selling the shovels in the AI gold rush, and everyone is scrambling to buy. Jensen's cult of speed. So, how did Nvidia leapfrog every other chip maker? One word: velocity. Jensen Huang doesn't believe in slow timelines. Competitors might release a new AI chip every 2 years, but for Nvidia, it's every year. Each chip costs around $20 to $30 billion to develop, but that pace basically forces rivals out of the market. Inside Nvidia, the culture is notoriously intense. Employees work brutal hours. Decisions are made directly by Jensen. He has 60 direct reports compared to most CEOs 6 or 7, and every worker has to send a top 5 update email. Huang personally reads about 100 of them every day, sometimes with a glass of Highland Park whiskey on a Sunday night. He once even grilled an employee for a project update while standing next to him in a bathroom stall, so not exactly a typical quarterly review. Scandals and secrets. Of course, no company gets to $4 trillion without controversy, and Nvidia has had plenty. Let's have a look at the highlights. The ARM deal that died. Back in 2020, Nvidia tried to buy chip designer ARM for about $40 billion. Regulators freaked out and the US FTC sued to block it, saying it would give Nvidia way too much control. The deal then collapsed. Crypto lies. During the Bitcoin mining boom, Nvidia quietly benefited from miners buying up GPUs but downplayed it in financial filings. The SEC later fined them $5.5 million for misleading investors. The GTX 970 lawsuit. Nvidia sold a graphics card claiming it had 4 GB of memory. It did, but half a gigabyte of it was so slow it was basically unusable. Gamers sued, Nvidia settled. AI data scraping. Internal leaks suggested Nvidia scraped a human lifetime worth of videos per day from YouTube and Netflix to train its AI model Cosmos. Nvidia denied it, but now they're facing a class action lawsuit from creators. Reviewer manipulation. More recently, reviewers accused Nvidia of controlling access to its new RTX 5060 card, allegedly trading early drivers for positive coverage. Not a good look for a company already accused of anti-competitive behavior. And regulators are circling. The DOJ is investigating whether Nvidia has been unfairly locking in customers and using its dominance to squash competitors. It could be doing that, or I wouldn't know. The geopolitical chess game. It's not all just regulators. Nvidia has to worry about its global politics. The US has repeatedly restricted sales of advanced chips to China, worried they'll be used for military AI. Nvidia has tried to get around this by making weaker versions of its chips, but the Trump administration slammed the door earlier this year, forcing Nvidia to take an $8 billion write-off. Then, in an almost unprecedented move, Nvidia struck a deal. They agreed to give the US government 15% of their revenue from AI chip sales to China in exchange for licenses. Huang later joked about hanging with Trump. So I said, listen, I want 20%. He said, would you take it for 15? So we negotiated a little deal. It sounds insane, but the math works. Bigger than nations. Here's the part nobody talks about. Nvidia is bigger than countries. With a market value of $4 trillion, it's worth more than 97% of the world's economies. Only 5 nations, America, China, Germany, India, and Japan, outrank it. Everyone else, technically poorer than a chip company. And that's not even the most chilling comparison. The company is now valued higher than all of the world's military spending combined. Tanks, jets, nukes, every army on Earth together doesn't equal this one company. It also outweighs the combined fortunes of the 30 richest people alive. Bezos, Musk, Buffett, Zuckerberg, you could throw all their billions into a pile and still come up short. And the crazy thing is, Nvidia has just 36,000 employees. That's barely the size of a small city. Yet this tiny group of engineers and executives hold the key to the most powerful technology of our age. So ask yourself, when a private company is richer than countries, more powerful than armies, and controls the chips that decide who gets access to artificial intelligence, I mean, who's really in charge here? So what do you think? Are Nvidia's meteoric rise and shadowy controversies proof of brilliance, or are they just like another really terrible monopoly in the making? Not even in the making, they got $4 trillion. Drop your thoughts in the comments below, and if you enjoyed this deep dive, hit that subscribe button because there are way more secrets hiding in Silicon Valley. And OG subscribers will know how much we love ripping into the weird tech billionaires, so there's definitely more of that to come. Check out this video I did on Palantir founder Peter Thiel. He's a weird creep. Bye!